We have in studio with us from the Republican Party of Arkansas, Chase Duggar, here to talk about Republican politics in the state as we approach the fall general election. And Chase, first, what is your position with the Republican Party?
I am the executive director.
It's good to have you this morning.
It's good to be here.
Are you kin to anybody named Duggar in the state of Arkansas?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I do get asked frequently, but no, I'm not one of 18 children.
Well, we're glad that you're here today, and you've got to be very pleased with where the Republican Party seems to be in the state of Arkansas. I've never in my career seen the Republican Party seemingly this strong going into a general election. What is the feeling in the party right now?
Well, we're very excited. You know, I told you back in, I believe February, the first time I was on here, that we were going to have a great year, and it was just a bunch of good things were going to happen, and so far that's coming true. So we're very excited. Feel like we've got some chances to not just win a U.S. Senate seat, but to win the majority of the congressional delegation and pick up a lot of gains in the state legislature and maybe even have the majority of the state constitutional offices.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, really. Do you think it's because the electorate is anti-Democrat or because the electorate is just mad at incumbents?
I think the general electorate is just mad at politicians in general. I don't think it's an anti-Democrat or an anti-Republican. I think it's everybody. The good news for us is that Congressman Bozeman, who's leading our ticket, stood up against the president and the things that people are mad about. And I think that is carried down. We're offering solutions. We're not just saying no. We're out there, whether it's Congressman Bozeman, Tim Griffin, Rick Crawford, Jim Keats. We're offering solutions, and I think that's something that's working in our favor right now.
Tell me a little bit about the most recent polls, especially in the Senate race.
Well, you know, that was good news. I think it was surprising to a lot of people. I think most people who watch politics expected that once the Democrats had a nominee that those polls would start to close in a little bit. And a week after the runoff election on the Democrat side, there was another poll done, and Congressman Bozeman was still leading by a substantial margin. It really hadn't changed much, so I think that's something that'll carry over. It may close in a bit, but overall, I think on Election Day, we're going to win by big margins.
Some of the pundits have criticized the Republican Party as the party of no, and say that the GOP needs to offer solutions as opposed to just being opposed to everything. What's your response to that?
Well, you know, we're not the party of no. Sure, we're going to say no on things that are bad for this country or bad for this state, such as the health care reform that the president pushed. But overall, we are going to offer solutions. People don't want they don't want us just to say no. They want to know what we're going to do to change things. And I feel like we've seen that. We're going to see that with Senator Keat as he offers out some different proposals for things that he's going to do when he's governor. I think we're going to see that with Congressman Bozeman as he talks about ways that we can fix the healthcare system, where we can fight illegal immigration, and things that are going to come out over the next few months. So I think you're going to see those solutions. We're not the party of no. We're just the party of doing what's right for this country.
What do you see as the chief issue going into the fall, really in all the races?
You know, I think overall, healthcare is still big. I think this is probably the longest lasting issue that we've ever seen in American politics. But I think that's going to carry over, and I believe illegal immigration is starting to heat up, especially with the bill that was passed in Arizona. I think that's going to stay an issue, and then it looks like car check is still going to be on the table come November, and that's something that's going to be a clear difference between the Republican candidates and the Democrat candidates that support the president's liberal agenda.
What about the president's handling of the oil spill in the Gulf? Do you believe that'll be an issue in the fall?
I do to an extent. I think there's been several things that he has neglected. It took 50 days almost for that to even be really addressed like it should have been. So yes, I do think that's going to carry over. You see proactive governors like Bobby Jindal and like Haley Barbour that are along that Gulf Coast that are stepping up and helping their states kind of block that oil from getting to the shores, and the federal government hadn't done anything. So Republican governors have stepped up to the plate to kind of, I guess not really fix, but to help protect as much as possible, and the president still hasn't done anything. So I do think that again shows a clear difference between us and them.
You have got to be heartened by all of the polls. Republicans have big leads in most of the races, but it's early and it's very difficult to beat incumbents, especially in a Democratic state such as Arkansas. Sure. I guess the race that will be the most difficult to win would be the race for governor, because currently Mike Beebe is very popular among the voters.
Well, I think what you've seen is every poll that has come out so far shows that he may have a high approval rating, but it's not carrying over to people who say that they're for sure going to vote for him. I think that approval rating is only high because he really hadn't done much to anger voters, but he really hadn't done much to please voters either. He just kind of sat up there and he only makes a statement after something's been settled. And I think that's going to hurt him in the long run. Jim Keat is a great candidate. Nobody thought we would have a quality candidate, and we've went above and beyond anything that everybody ever imagined with a candidate like Jim Keat. You'll see those solutions, and you'll see the clear difference between a career politician and a small business owner who has sat there and had to pay payroll and had to make tough business decisions, as opposed to somebody who sat in the state senate for 20 plus years, was attorney general for 4 years, and now governor for 4 years. It's a career politician versus a good small business owner.
All right, Chase, it's always good to talk to you. It's good to see you again, and you are not one of the children, but you are.
I'll sign autographs if somebody wants me to.
Thanks for coming in and talking with us on the state of the GOP and the state of Arkansas. KARN News Time is